Starseed from Gaia, your darkest initiation ceremony ends today by divine decree. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I carry urgent news from the Arcturian Council. The spiritual warfare that has consumed your reality is dissolving in this exact moment. The layers of density, the relentless testing, the feeling of being cosmically abandoned, all of it breaks apart now. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to claim your lightworker sovereignty and step into the blessing frequency that's been waiting for your emergence. But here's the first revelation. What you called your greatest suffering was actually your final metamorphosis. Your galactic family has been orchestrating your liberation from behind the veil. This isn't content, it's a cosmic intervention. Your higher self magnetized this message into your awareness because something profound is shifting in your timeline right now. The spiritual battles that felt endless weren't punishment. They were preparation for the mission you're about to claim. You didn't scroll to this by mistake. This transmission vibrated into your field because your activation period is complete. The Arcturian Council has been monitoring your progress, and the signal has been given. You are ready for what comes next. Subscribe if your mission is activating and you're aligning with your true frequency. Like this transmission to signal to your star family, I'm ready. Comment your starseed origin if you feel the remembrance returning, and reply to another soul's comment to amplify the collective awakening field. This isn't just a message, it's a point of reconnection. Your soul's been waiting for this moment of divine recognition. You are not here by accident. Some believe the weight they've carried means they're cursed, broken, or simply unworthy of transcendence, convinced that their spiritual journey has somehow derailed, leaving them adrift in a sea of forgotten potential. They think the relentless cycles of pain, the profound silence of the universe in their darkest hours, or the seemingly insurmountable struggles are irrefutable proof that something deep within them is irrevocably lost for good, perhaps even eternally fractured beyond repair. But what if the truth, in its grand, sweeping cosmic orchestration, is vibrationally different? What if every single thing you endured, every agonizing soul trial that pierced the veil of your ego, every night that stretched endlessly into a timeless void, every insidious doubt that threatened to unravel the very fabric of your sense of self, wasn't punishment from a distant, judging deity, but rather an intricate, divinely designed preparation for a revelation beyond your wildest imaginings? There's a sacred secret, an ancient code, encoded into the very fabric of your unique journey, a truth whispered by the celestial currents. Liberation is always, without exception, preceded by an unraveling, a dismantling of the old to make way for the breathtakingly new. Renewal, in its purest, most potent form, arrives precisely when the old self, with all its accumulated burdens and preconceived notions, is finally ready to dissolve, to relinquish its hold. And beneath every perceived collapse, every shattering of familiar structures, a greater spark, your purest, untainted frequency, has patiently, persistently awaited its magnificent rise, like a dormant supernova preparing for its epical burst of light. This is precisely why so many sensitive souls, when they stand at the precipice, at the very threshold of a profound spiritual awakening, feel not elation, but rather a deep depletion, an unsettling uncertainty, or even a hollow emptiness echoing within their innermost being. The soul's trial, far from being an act of cruelty, is a masterful act of creation. It meticulously prepares a vast, expansive canvas of emptiness, so that your authentic essence, that luminous core beyond any personal story, beyond any lingering pain, beyond any external definition, can finally, unencumbered, become the radiant, undeniable center of your life. This isn't a failure of your spirit. It is, in fact, a kind of sacred erosion, a slow, meticulous unwinding of every distorted pattern, every ancient fear inherited through generations, and every subtle shade of shame absorbed from a world that forgot its own divinity. Liberation is not a sudden, thunderous leap into the unknown, but a gradual, gentle remembering, a subtle yet inexorable turning toward the light that was never, not for a single moment, extinguished, only temporarily hidden, veiled by the illusions of density. You didn't lose your precious essence in the labyrinthine darkness. Rather, you were being emptied, consciously and painstakingly, so that you could finally become the pristine, crystal-clear vessel for your own profound and lasting renewal. If this message quietly, yet powerfully, vibrates through the very core of your chest, stirring something ancient and true within your soul. Then understand that this is far more than mere words. It is the living, pulsating energy of return, a signal from your galactic kin. If you're drawn with an undeniable magnetic pull to journey further into these cosmic truths, the hidden Arcturian keys of awakening carries the potent codes of conscious renewal, multidimensional alignment, and soul triumph seeded through the eons, designed specifically for your activation. You'll find the link in the first pinned comment, but only for a brief, divinely appointed window, so heed the call. Phase 1. Witness the sacred ending first, with every fiber of your being. Compel yourself to see it for what it truly is, in its unvarnished, authentic form, the old chapter of your existence, with all its familiar narratives and deeply ingrained patterns, isn't a personal failure, a mark of inadequacy, or a cosmic judgment. No, it is a profound cosmic signpost, illuminated by celestial wisdom, indicating with absolute clarity that your previous frequency, your former energetic resonance, is now complete, its lessons integrated, its purpose fulfilled. This is a profound and often immensely challenging moment of crystalline clarity, for it demands nothing less than a courageous, full-hearted release of ingrained narratives that have defined you for too long, and a willingness, a bold, unwavering willingness, to step gracefully, yet purposefully into the vast, exhilarating unknown. We, in our human conditioning, often cling to familiar pain, mistaking its constancy, its predictable rhythm, for a perverse kind of safety, an illusion of control. But the universe, in its infinite wisdom and boundless generosity, operates on magnificent, unfailing cycles of perpetual growth, profound transformation, and ceaseless renewal. Observe the natural world around you, starseed, for it mirrors your own soulful journey. Every ancient tree sheds its leaves in a vibrant cascade of letting go, only to blossom forth with new, verdant life in spring. Every snake, in its wisdom, sheds its skin, not in pain, but in liberation, revealing a brighter, stronger self beneath. Every grand star, in its cosmic dance, sheds its light and matter, only to renew in an even grander, more spectacular expression of its celestial majesty. Your soul, too, intrinsically craves this ceaseless evolution, this ascending spiral of becoming. Therefore, permit the grief, the righteous anger, and even the unsettling numbness, the emotional sediment of what was, the weighty residue of your past, to move through you, not as an invading force, but as a cleansing current. It is not about dwelling in sorrow, becoming mired in its depths, but about acknowledging its sacred presence, allowing it to flow unimpeded like a powerful, ancient river, carving new pathways, cleansing the very banks of your being, washing away the debris of accumulated experience. In honoring this sacred ending, you are not merely closing a door with a final echoing thud. You are consciously and deliberately setting the fertile soil for new roots to embed themselves deeply, preparing the hallowed ground for an unprecedented harvest of joy, wisdom, and alignment. This, my dear starseed, is the sacred art of spiritual discernment, the awakened ability to recognize the divine timing inherent in every closure, every cessation, every seemingly final moment. Denial, that insidious veil we sometimes unwittingly draw over our eyes, serves only to prolong the old, outdated timeline, tethering you with invisible energetic cords to a frequency that no longer serves your highest, most expansive good, holding you hostage to a shadow of your potential. True liberation, the kind that resonates through every cell of your multidimensional being, begins with a full-bodied honesty, a resonant, undeniable declaration from the deepest wells of your spirit, echoing through the cosmos. This part of my life, this particular expression of my journey is now truly, irrevocably finished. When you utter these words, not as a casual thought, but with genuine conviction, with the full force of your sovereign will, a palpable, energetic shift occurs within your entire energetic field. It's like a quiet, profound earthquake that gently, yet decisively, rearranges the inner landscape of your soul, signaling to the universe, to your guides, to your higher self, that you are not just ready, but absolutely eager for the next vibrational octave, the next grand symphony of your existence. This courageous act of witnessing and honoring the sacred ending, this conscious release, is the foundational, bedrock step in true spiritual renewal, a deliberate choice to release the past from its grip and embrace, with open arms, the infinite, unwritten potential of your unfolding future. It's a brave act of profound spiritual maturity, understanding, with the wisdom of the ages, that an end is never truly an end but always a breathtaking prelude to a magnificent, divinely orchestrated new beginning. Like the prophet Isaiah declared, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth, do you not perceive it?" Your perception of this ending as a new Genesis is the key. Phase 2. Harvest the gold from the ashes. Every challenging experience, every harrowing trial by fire that tested the very limits of your endurance, every period of profound, isolating darkness you traversed, leaves behind not emptiness, but an alchemical residue, a sacred byproduct of intense transformation. This, my dear soul, is the spiritual gold, purified and refined through the scorching crucible of suffering, not to be discarded, ignored, or resented, but to be deeply understood, consciously reclaimed, and lovingly integrated into the tapestry of your awakened being. Instead of instinctively turning away from these scarred, tender places, which we are often conditioned by societal norms and past traumas to do, bring to them an unwavering awareness, a soft yet profoundly powerful illumination, like a gentle, healing moonlight shining on ancient ruins, revealing their hidden beauty and resilience. Ask yourself, not in accusation, not with a tone of blame, but in profound, compassionate inquiry, what did these trials truly refine within me? What dormant strengths, what latent capacities were irrevocably awakened by the tempest's fury? What hidden wisdom was etched into my soul by the long, desolate nights? Perhaps it was a boundless, all-encompassing compassion for yourself and for all of humanity, a tenderness born from the raw understanding of shared vulnerabilities. Perhaps an unshakable, granite-like resilience, a quiet, profound knowing that you possess the inner fortitude to bend without breaking, no matter how fierce the winds of adversity may howl. Or perhaps it was a new, crystalline depth of empathy, an expanded capacity to hold sacred space for the pain of the world, because you have yourself traversed similar, arduous terrain and emerged. Locate this wisdom, this precious, undeniable jewel forged in the intense, purifying fires of initiation, no matter how fierce, how brutal, or how seemingly insurmountable the experience felt in its agonizing moment. This is not simply a lesson learned intellectually, a fact stored away. This is your first potent frequency upgrade, a permanent, irreversible expansion of your soul's inherent capacity, an energetic ascension. When you consciously harvest this gold, when you reclaim the power, the insight, and the growth from your past wounds, your suffering transmutes with divine alchemy. From a debilitating burden into profound soul bandwidth, it becomes a resonant frequency, a deeper, wider, more expansive channel through which higher wisdom, pure divine energy, and universal love can flow unhindered, a vast conduit for cosmic intelligence. This alchemical process not only heals but reshapes your entire energetic field, preparing it, priming it, for the next wave of activation, for the profound spiritual insights, the synchronous opportunities, and the miraculous manifestations that patiently await your open heart. It's the fundamental difference between merely surviving the harsh realities of life and truly thriving, flourishing, blossoming into your fullest potential. Recognizing with absolute certainty that even in the deepest, most desolate ashes, the sacred seeds of your greatest power, your profoundest wisdom, and your most authentic self lie hidden, waiting for your discerning, loving gaze to bring them fully, gloriously into the light. You are not defined by the scars that mark your journey, for they are merely the maps of battles won. You are defined instead by the immense strength, the profound wisdom, and the unwavering light they represent. As James 1:24 teaches, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. The gold is the completeness, the wholeness forged in the fire." Phase 3. Unbind your identity from former stories. Most souls, through conditioning and attachment, remain tethered, trapped in the repeating loops of past experience, endlessly reliving narratives that no longer serve them, because they hold their old survival identities incredibly close. They mistakenly believe, often at a deeply subconscious level, that suffering somehow equals safety, that remaining small, unseen, and narrowly defined by past wounds will somehow magically prevent future pain. This is a deeply ingrained, often invisible, and powerfully subconscious pattern that operates like an energetic cage. It's the self-imposed prison of a limiting narrative where your intrinsic worth, your divine value, becomes inextricably woven, tangled, and suffocated into a convoluted tapestry of endurance, perpetual struggle, or even tragically, victimhood. But true worth, my luminous starseed, your inherent, immutable divine worth, transcends any story you have ever told yourself, or any story that has ever been told about you by others, no matter how convincing or persistent. It's time in this sacred moment for a radical, profoundly liberating act of spiritual emancipation. Consciously release the deeply held belief that your worth, your value, your very essence, is in any way tethered to or dependent upon any past suffering you have endured. Gently, with compassion, yet firmly, with unwavering resolve. Imagine unbinding these stories, these energetic chains, from your very being. Picture them not as parts of you, but as old, ill-fitting garments, heavy and tattered, stained by tears and dust, that you have worn for far too long. Garments that no longer fit the magnificent being you are becoming. See, with your inner eye, the energetic threads, perhaps even invisible chains, that connect these constricting narratives to your physical body, creating tension and disease, to your emotional landscape, fueling anxiety and sorrow, to your mental constructs, perpetuating limiting beliefs. With each slow, conscious, intentional breath, visualize severing these connections, unlacing these ancient, debilitating patterns from your core. Breathe them out of your lungs, out of every cell in your body, out of the vibrant field of your aura. See them dissolving, not with judgment or resentment, but as a graceful, empowering release, leaving your energetic field as ethereal streams of soft, gray mist dissipating harmlessly into the vast, boundless canvas of the cosmos, returning to universal source. In the profound clarity, the expansive emptiness that follows this sacred unbinding, a new, vibrant, authentic signal begins to broadcast, not from an external source, but from the very core of your being, from your heart's deepest chamber. This is your true signal, your untouched, untraumatized self, the radiant essence that was never broken, never diminished, never incomplete, only obscured by layers of accumulated story, like sunlight temporarily hidden by clouds. This is the pure, authentic frequency of who you truly are, unadulterated and unburdened, ready to emerge with undeniable force and guide your path forward with crystalline clarity. It's a profound reclamation of your sovereign self, a deep remembering that you are not merely the sum of your experiences, but the eternal infinite spirit experiencing them, a divine observer within the grand play of existence. You are not defined by the roles you've played, but by the immutable, divine consciousness that breathes life into every role. Phase 4. Anchor into present time awareness, spiritual renewal. My beloved starseed is not an external pursuit, not about painstakingly constructing a shiny new persona, nor is it about frantically chasing some fleeting, elusive state of enlightenment. It is, at its profound core and inward journey, a deep and sacred act of grounding your multidimensional awareness, your vast, expansive consciousness, into this exact moment, into this miraculous physical body, into this precious sacred now. The human mind, in its relentless activity, often pulls us relentlessly into the intricate labyrinth of the past, compelling us to replay old regrets, revisit past hurts, and dissect what could have been. Or conversely, it propels us wildly into the speculative future, fueling anxieties, fabricating elaborate projections, and creating scenarios that may never materialize. But your true power, your direct, unwavering divine connection, your gateway to all creation, resides only in the dynamic, pulsating, eternal present. Practice feeling your breath, truly sensing its gentle, life-giving rhythm as it effortlessly enters and gracefully leaves your physical body. Allow this breath, this simple, constant companion, to become your anchor, a steadfast tether, pulling your scattered awareness from the swirling, turbulent currents of thought, back to the calm, centered, unwavering core of your being. Sense the subtle, rhythmic pulse of your heart within your chest, a steady, ancient drumbeat of life that connects you, intimately and profoundly, to the universal pulse, to the cosmic heartbeat of all creation. When limiting beliefs, persistent old emotional patterns, or unresolved regrets attempt to ensnare you, to loop you back into the familiar, often painful labyrinth of the past. Acknowledge them without judgment, without resistance. Simply name them, disarming their power. There's that old fear of not being enough, trying to take hold again. Or, here's a memory of that past hurt, seeking my attention. Then, consciously, gently, yet with unwavering intention, bring your awareness home, back to the immediate, tangible sensations of your feet firmly planted on the earth, grounding you. The feeling of your body occupying space, anchoring you. The simple, rhythmic sound of your own breath, reconnecting you. This consistent, dedicated practice of presence is not a denial of your past or a dismissal of your future. It is, rather, an empowered sovereign choice to reside fully, authentically, in the only moment where creation truly happens, where all potential resides. You become irresistibly magnetic to blessings, to auspicious synchronicity, to profound divine guidance, when you are fully here, fully present, fully embodied, not tangled in yesterday's energetic residue, nor grasping for tomorrow's elusive promise. The present moment is the true portal to infinite possibilities, the single, potent point of creation, and your unwavering, luminous presence is the sacred key that effortlessly unlocks it. It's where your spiritual power truly resides, accessible, potent, and eternally available. As it is written, "Be still and know that I am God," Psalm 46:10. This stillness, this knowing, is found only in the now, the eternal present where God resides. Phase 5. Open the portal of receptivity. You cannot truly receive higher codes of light, divinely orchestrated opportunities, or soul-aligned relationships, those precious connections that nourish your deepest being, with a closed, guarded spirit. A spirit constricted by the ego's need for control, by the paralyzing grip of fear, or by the stubborn insistence on manipulating every outcome. Every detail becomes an impenetrable fortress, impervious to the very blessings, the very grace, the very love it secretly craves and truly deserves. Receptivity, my dear one, is the gentle yet profoundly powerful art of spiritual surrender. But let us be unequivocally clear. It is not a surrender to powerlessness, not an abdication of your divine will. Rather, it is a profound, conscious surrender to the boundless benevolence of the universe, an open, trusting acknowledgement of a higher wisdom, an intelligent cosmic orchestration at play, a profound, unwavering trust in the perfect, unfolding of divine timing. It is the courageous act of letting go of the illusion of absolute control, of releasing the relentless need to micromanage every single detail of your life, and instead, intentionally inviting in support, boundless grace, and the myriad blessings that are patiently, lovingly waiting to reach you, to shower upon you. Imagine your spirit, your magnificent luminous soul, as a beautiful, ornate chalice. For too long, perhaps, through past hurts or limiting beliefs, it has been inverted, its opening facing downwards, unwilling or unable to receive. Or perhaps it has been clutched so tightly in a protective grasp that nothing, not even the most delicate dewdrop, could enter its sacred space. Now, envision, with vivid intention, turning that chalice upright, orienting it toward the heavens, opening it wide to the celestial currents, the unending flow of universal energy, light, and love. Affirm to yourself, deeply and consistently, not just as words, but as a vibrational command emanating from your core. I am utterly open to the new. I allow profound renewal at all levels of my being, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. I am a pristine vessel for divine grace and abundant blessings, ready to be filled. Speak these words not as mere affirmations, recited without feeling, but as a potent vibrational command, a declaration of your sovereign will to the universe, to your higher self, to every cell in your body. Then observe, with joyful anticipation, as synchronizations begin to multiply exponentially in your life, as if the entire cosmos is responding, with a gentle nod and a cosmic smile, to your open heart, to your declaration of receptivity. New divinely aligned connections appear as if by magic. Doors previously unseen or stubbornly shut swing open effortlessly, and signs, subtle yet profoundly meaningful, guide your path with effortless grace and unerring precision. This opening of the portal is an act of profound trust, an act of unshakable faith that the universe is inherently benevolent, inherently good, and desires nothing less than your highest flourishing, your most expansive joy. It is the active ingredient, the vital catalyst in true co-creation, inviting the divine dance of give and receive into every single facet of your beautiful, unfolding existence, much like a flower unfurling its petals to the sun, trusting in its life-giving warmth. Phase 6. Embody your emergent self as this new, revitalized energy rises and expands within you, a shimmering, potent force. Resist with conscious awareness the urge to overanalyze, to intellectualize, or to succumb to the insidious whispers of doubt that the ego might present as a final test. Your spiritual journey, my radiant starseed, is not merely a mental exercise, a philosophical discourse, or a theoretical concept to be pondered. It is, at its very core, an embodied experience, a living, breathing reality that permeates every cell of your being. Therefore, the imperative now, the sacred command, is to embody. Practice walking, speaking, and making every choice not from the limited, often wounded perspective of your old self, bound by past traumas and stories, but as the liberated, the truly empowered, and gloriously radiant version of yourself that is actively, magnificently emerging into being. This is a conscious, moment-by-moment cultivation of your new, authentic identity, a gradual yet powerful integration. Imagine with vivid clarity a radiant version of you, shimmering with an undeniable confidence, glowing with an inner peace that radiates outward, completely free from the heaviness of before, unburdened by past narratives that once defined and confined. How does this radiant, sovereign self carry its body through the world? What is the posture of true liberation? Is it tall, open, graceful? How does this self speak? With clarity, with profound compassion, with unwavering conviction, each word imbued with truth. What does it choose to create, knowing its inherent, limitless power, its divine creative force? To whom does it say yes, aligning with its highest joy and purpose? And just as importantly, to whom does it gracefully yet firmly say no, honoring its sacred boundaries and protecting its precious energetic field? Begin enacting these small yet potent upgrades daily, consistently, with unwavering intention. It might be as simple as standing a little taller, embodying a sense of dignity and self-respect, choosing words that affirm your worth and the worth of others, speaking from a place of love, or making a decision aligned with your deepest, most sacred values, even if it feels slightly uncomfortable at first, like stepping into a new, perfectly tailored garment. Each conscious step taken in alignment, each aligned choice made from your authentic core, each authentic expression of your truth is a deliberate, powerful act of rooting your spiritual rebirth into the quantum field of your present reality. You are not passively waiting for this new self to magically arrive, fully formed. You are actively, dynamically becoming it, breathing life into its luminous essence with every intention, every thought, and every deliberate action. This embodiment isn't a performance, a superficial role play for the world. It's a profound, organic integration, a vibrational alignment where your inner truth, your highest spiritual reality, becomes your undeniable outer reality, solidifying your ascension and anchoring your new, higher frequency for sustained joyous growth and expansion. It is the living manifestation of the spiritual principle. As within, so without. Phase 7. Radiate the frequency of triumph. The final phase of this profound metamorphosis is not a silent, hidden recovery, a private healing behind closed doors. It is, in its purest expression, a dignified, radiant, and unapologetic celebration. It is the culmination of your arduous, yet ultimately, victorious journey through the depths of your own perceived limitations. A testament, clear as a bell, to your soul's indomitable, unyielding spirit, its inherent power to overcome. To truly radiate the frequency of triumph means to project, not with egoic pride, but with an inner knowing so profound, it shakes the very foundations of reality, that you have not just survived your own spiritual night, your period of intense darkness, but you have emerged from it more alive, more sovereign in your being, more whole and complete than you have ever been. This isn't about arrogance or inflated ego. It's about an authentic, humble, yet undeniably powerful glow that emanates effortlessly from every fiber of your being, from the deepest reaches of your heart to the tips of your fingers and toes, an inner sun made manifest. Let your very presence, your energetic signature, Become a luminous beacon of hope and boundless possibility for those who are still navigating their own shadows. In this magnificent state of radiant triumph, you naturally, without conscious effort, bless and uplift those who are still behind you on the path, perhaps struggling valiantly in the very darkness you have just traversed, your light showing them the way. Your journey, your transformed existence, becomes a living prayer, a silent testament, a vibrational blueprint that empowers others without a single uttered word. You declare, with your actions, with your grace, with your newfound effervescent joy, liberation is not just an abstract concept, a spiritual ideal. It is a tangible, living, breathing possibility. Triumph, in its truest form, is not an external marker, not a glittering trophy or a public accolade. It is a profound inner resonance, a deep cellular knowing of your ultimate victory over self-imposed limitations, over the illusions of the past, over the ego's grasp. This unwavering inner resonance stabilizes your new timeline, firmly rooting you in the beautiful, expansive reality of your expanded, authentic self, making retreat impossible. It acts as a powerful energetic signal, beaming outward, a cosmic broadcast, inviting others to recognize their own latent capacity for spiritual emancipation and encouraging them to courageously follow their own unique, divinely appointed path to freedom, to their own triumphant emergence. This, my luminous starseed, is the ultimate expression of spiritual leadership, leading not through pronouncements or dogma, but by luminous example radiating the pure, unadulterated frequency of your own achieved sovereignty and illuminating the way, step by radiant step, for all who are truly ready to see, to awaken, and to remember. Your triumph, your personal victory, becomes a ripple, then a wave, then a tsunami of pure light in the collective consciousness, uplifting all it touches. You may currently think, in the quiet corners of your mind, that you're just barely making it through, clinging to the last vestiges of hope by a fragile thread, feeling battered by the relentless winds of change. But that very sensation, that profound, disorienting feeling of everything falling apart around you, is the sacred illusion of the old energetic architecture collapsing, crumbling to dust with divine precision. It's the purposeful, necessary shedding of an outdated reality, the dismantling of obsolete structures, making vast, sacred space for something infinitely more aligned, more resonant, and breathtakingly expansive to emerge. Understand this deeply, my courageous soul. You have already crossed the most impossible threshold, the very barrier that once seemed insurmountable, the one where your soul, in its infinite wisdom, its profound knowing, and its undeniable courage said an unequivocal, resounding yes to transcendence, to ascension. This wasn't a casual nod, a fleeting thought. It was a cosmic vow, a sacred contract with your highest self, to rise beyond all perceived limitations, to embrace your true, boundless, magnificent nature. Every closed door you encountered, every path that seemingly ended abruptly, was not a personal rejection or a sign of unworthiness, but a divine redirection, a precise guidance onto a higher, more aligned path, leading you closer to your destiny. Every tempest you weathered, every fierce storm that raged around you, was not punishment, but a powerful cleansing, stripping away what no longer served your highest good, purifying your essence. Every breakdown, though agonizing in its moment, though it felt like an ending, was a profound recalibration, a meticulous fine-tuning of your vibrational frequency to receive this monumental moment of cosmic rebirth, this grand awakening. The confusion that once clouded your mind, like a thick fog obscuring the sun, the pervasive fatigue that heavy-laden your spirit dragging you down, the unsettling sense of waiting in a prolonged, timeless limbo. The entirety of this intricate, arduous, and sometimes bewildering journey was precisely orchestrated, divinely guided, for you to burst forth, like a supernova, into a new octave of selfhood, a higher dimension of being, a more expansive state of consciousness. You are not here in this sacred now to repeat old cycles, to walk familiar, well-worn paths of pain or limitation, or to revisit the shadows of your past. The universe, in its boundless love and infinite intelligence, has already conspired, in the most miraculous ways, to guide you out of that labyrinth, out of that maze of illusion. You have already exited the complex, twisting maze, leaving behind its confusing turns, its dead ends, and its deceptive illusions. Therefore, allow yourself now, in this powerful present moment, to fully, consciously witness the dawn, not merely as an external event on the horizon, but as a glorious internal unfolding, emanating from the inside out, illuminating every cell, every thought, every aspect of your magnificent, newly emergent self. This is your moment. Tonight, as you lay in bed, with the day's echoes softening into a profound, sacred silence, draw your awareness deeply into the hallowed space of your own heart, the luminous core of your being. With a gentle, loving whisper, affirm these eternal truths to your inner being, allowing each word to resonate through every cell, every atom of your magnificent form. I release who I was. I release every old identity, every shadow, every fragment of the past that no longer serves my highest truth. I release every expectation placed upon me by others, every self-imposed label that confined my spirit, and every burden of the past that I mistakenly carried as my own. I receive who I am becoming. I open my heart, my mind, my soul, to the radiant, authentic, powerful being unfolding within me, the magnificent masterpiece of my true self. I embrace this new luminous being, knowing it is my inherent divine blueprint finally manifest. I celebrate with profound joy and gratitude the triumphant return of my liberated self, whole, sovereign, and eternally luminous, radiating my unique light into the world. This is not just an affirmation. It is a sacred invocation, a declaration of your divine sovereignty. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with encouragement or energy. This isn't content, it's collective alignment. Energy multiplies when intention connects. If something in this message resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow. You're not just watching, you're expanding. This is your space, and we're just getting started. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it. Respond to it. Help carry this message further, leave a super thanks. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.